What's your nationality according to the Bible? Ephraim. So from here on out, you shouldn't be calling yourself no more what? What is Puerto Rico? Huh? No, what does the word Puerto Rico mean? I went over and probably missed it. I went over kind of quick. It means rich port. That's what rich port. Why? Because you guys have abundance of resources. And what color is our God? Dark and green. I like that. So what we went over, I heard him go over the Sabbath day, get a dietary law, right? These are some other things that we got to keep practicing, so that way we're staying on the right track. We have to practice. Remember, we have to rehearse the right. You know what I want? Rehearse the righteous acts.
You gotta keep it. I'll be right.
Judges. But don't worry about it. Let's read Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine.
So these are some of the dietary laws that we shouldn't. I should try verse 1. Is it verse 1?
Verse 1.
Or is it 44? 44. It says the beasts of the unclean. Yeah, 44. Nobody.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 44. For you shall 43.
43.
You shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth. Neither shall you make yourselves unclean with them, and you should be defiled thereby. For I am your Lord your God. You shall therefore sanctify yourselves.
Sanctify means to separate yourselves.
And ye shall be holy. For I am holy. Neither shall you defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of beasts and of fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean.
So we're going to make a difference between the things that are unclean and the things that are clean on what God said. Remember, he said to be sanctified, be separated, holy like himself. But this is how we're going to be unclean from the beasts and the things that we eat upon the earth, right? Read this.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine.
The swine, what's a swine? A pig, right? Read. In Puerto Rico, they eat a lot of pig?
They eat a lot of pig.
You eat pig?
I ain't gonna lie, dude.
You're right. I mean, we're not trying to, when we're out here, we're not trying to make you say something, trying to bash you down, because we was
I already said I'm a sinner. I'm a straight up sinner.
All of us have, right?
I'm not perfect.
Right.
I already know.
This is how we become perfect. When we start to convert and change and start keeping God's commandments, this is how we convert to be perfect. And remember, Noah was perfect, but what did he end up doing? He ended up getting drunk, right? You got Joseph that was perfect, so on and so forth, our forefathers that was perfect in the scriptures, right? David was a man after God's own heart, right? But he committed sin. But we all sinned, but what we have to do, what happened with all those men? They converted and they started keep changing their ways. And this is how we change our ways. We have to go to the scriptures and find out the things that are clean and unclean that we're not supposed to eat. My brother, what's your name? Probably Chris. Oh, Chris? Okay, so read this.
And the swine, though he divided the hoof.
It says the pig, though he divides the hoof. Right? Read up the verse. That's okay. Keep reading.
Though he be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud.
So God gave us, when you read above, it says anything that has cloven feet, you can eat. So God said, but though the pig, though his feet be cloven-footed, and he divides the hoof, just like a cow does, right, as far as his feet, right, read.
Yet he cheweth not the cud.
He said, but the pig, he don't chew the cud. Meaning what? He doesn't have two separate stomachs. Like a pig has two stomachs. So whatever it eats, and then the other stomach filters it. So with a cow. So that what makes it clean, right? Because it cleans its own food through its digestive system. But a pig, it said, though he what? Divided the hoof, he what?
Yet he cheweth not the cud.
He doesn't have that same operation the way his body works, right? So the things that he eats, he absorbs in his skin. So throughout the pig's life, if he ate a rat, it absorbs through his skin. He eats garbage, it absorbs through his skin. That's why when they do examinations, they see that he worms and stuff in Christ. You say you believe in Christ? Question. So what we're going over is what God gave us as far as the dietary law. Do you eat pork? No, you good. Nice. Eat pork? Eat pork? Do you know that's a sin according to God? What's your nationality?
My nationality?
What's your
preferred language? English or Spanish?
Right, so what we out here doing, we're teaching the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true nationality according to the Bible. The so-called American blacks, like we call ourselves, We come from the tribe of Judah. From the nation of Israel, from the tribe of Judah. You look at Jamaicans, Bahamians, and so on and so forth, they call themselves West Indies, they come from the tribe of Benjamin. These names are what God gave us when we read the Bible, and this is what we learned through slavery. Like you say, I'm African American. What does African American mean? What does that word mean? You know? You know where we got that word from? So how did we get on this side of the world? How did black people get on this side of the world? How did we get to America? How old are you? 17? In school, did they teach you about slavery? Or have they taken it out through critical race theory? They still kind of teach it a little bit here and there? Not too much, right? So when I was going to school, that was a big thing, right? They taught us about our history and what happened to us, right? How we came from the west coast of Africa, brought throughout the Americas. They didn't go too in depth, but we knew we came from Africa, right? You'll say that, right? Black people know that, or I'm from some landmass or some country in Africa, but I identify as myself as African. That's why you call yourself what? African American, right? But these two landmass was conquered by two white men. Leo Scipio Africanus was a Roman general who conquered Hannibal the king in the Punic Wars, and he named his landmass that was called Ham at one point Africa, after himself. Leo Scipio Africanus, he named it white man Africa. Then you had Amerigo Vespucci. He was an Italian map maker. He helped Christopher Columbus get to the Americas through his map, through his navigation, through his writing the maps, right? And he named these landmass after himself. Amerigo Vespucci, Leo Scipio Africanus, Africa, America. So they call you African American after two white men. Can two white men lay down and have a baby? Can they have a black baby at that? I don't even think we won't even see them try to do that. But they would. Nowadays they do. They try to do whatever the hell they want to do. But they can't make a black person. But you call yourself African American. Why? Because that's a curse actually according to God. That was a curse that happened and befall on us. Why? Because we started to break God's commandments. Like when I asked you, do you eat pork? You say yes. That's a commandment that we're not supposed to be doing that. Why? Because God told us that's something that we're not supposed to do. You know what happened in a lot of the black community? I know you're young. In our black community, when we eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, our people get high blood pressure, gout. My sister, before you leave, before you leave, right? A lot of times in our communities, we get high blood pressure, gout. I don't know if you ever seen like old people get their foot chopped off, things like that, right? Because of the foods that they're eating. But read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
So Moses is giving us a prophecy to the 12 tribes of Israel. He's telling us these things are going to happen to you in the future. Like you got a father, right? And a mother. If they told you when you were younger, you better be in a house before the streetlights came on, and you didn't come in before the streetlights came on, you think you're going to be in trouble? 100%, right? So this is what Moses is telling us, what God told him to tell us. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
if you don't listen to what God is telling us, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
If we don't listen to all the rules that's outlined for us to do, read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Before you leave, I want you to get this. Read.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be.
Before you get that, before we jump there, I want to ask you a quick question. Because it says curses is going to come upon us. Where do you think we learned the Christianity cross? Church? You sure? I'm going to show you this. Right here, what is this? Cross, right? What do you see going on in this image? What do you see is going on in this image? It's kind of dull, I know, but they're hanging, there's fire underneath them, and they have the cross. The reason why we worship that is because if we didn't worship it, this is what was going to happen to us. Get her back here. Get her back here. All right, read that.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18.
Before you leave, I want you to listen to this. Read.
What profiteth the graven image?
So what's the profit of you wearing a cross? What would you say the profit of it is? Showing that you believe in God, right? So God said, read that again.
What profiteth the graven image? That the maker thereof have graven it.
God said, what's the profit of you wearing that makers have made it, right? Read.
The molten image.
It says the what?
Molten image and a teacher of lies.
You know why it's a teacher of lies? Because we were forced to worship that. That was never something that God told us to worship. Like, what is that cross? What was that cross significant for in Christianity? What did they what did it typically say? Because Jesus died on the cross, right? If someone's gunned down, you ever seen somebody die from gun violence? Not in person, but I'm like, you've seen it, right? Would you wear a bullet on a neck? You're like, yeah, I just put my homeboy that died on the street. Why would you do the same thing with your Lord and Savior? Bring it out. That was capital punishment. Same way you look at lethal injection, same way you look at electric chair. That's what that was. So when you wear that, you're like, yeah, it's a mockery to God. This is what they do to mock our God. But God said, what's the profit of that? Now he's telling you, now that you know that, what's the profit of you wearing that still? Read.
The molten image and a teacher of lies.
It's a teacher of lies, because you said, oh, it's for me to worship or believe in God, but that actually was capital punishment to murder your Savior. Read.
That the maker of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols.
God said that's a dumb idol. That's it? That's it. It's a dumb idol. Deuteronomy 7, right? But before you go, actually get Isaiah 30 and 22.
It's Omega.
Omega?
Yeah.
What the hell? Oh, man, that's I think you associated with the colors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Read that. I want you to do this before you go. I got two scriptures before you go, and I want you to get 22. I think it is.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 22. You shall defile also the covering of thy graven image.
God said you should defile that image, right? You shouldn't want that image.
Of silver, and the ornament of thy molten images of gold.
Typically, the cross comes, our people see it in what? Silver and what? Gold. God said this what?
Thou shalt cast them away as a menstruous cloth.
You know what a menstruous cloth is? You know what a woman's menstrual cycle is? Bring it out. Period. So a cloth means it's stopping the what? The period. So God said you should take that image and do what?
Cast them away as a menstruous cloth.
You know what God look at that image says when you wear it? Like you're walking around with a menstruous cloth around your neck. Yep. So you walking around with a period pad on your neck. Right. But God said you're supposed to do what with it?
Cast them away
What do you
as
think
a
you're supposed
menstruous
to do with that
cloth.
cross?
Take it off.
And do what?
Throw it away.
So what are you going to do?
Bring it out.
You can keep the chain, you don't got to keep the ornament.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.